So somebody who keeps the cow is illiterate, uneducated person. And that time actually 100 years back people used to say, "Arey, padhai karo. If you don't study, you will become Vaishnava." They were like that. Vaishnavas are the one who are having all illicit things, activities going on. एक हाथ में माला है, एक हाथ में मछली है, and they were doing all these things, nonsense things. So that kind of a situation was there. Actually, Vaishnavas were of that two kinds. One kind of Vaishnavas were there, who are kind of a very high level of Vaishnavas, एकदम proper, and they were not interested into coming into the society at all. They were okay. Hare Krishna. Everybody is audible? Okay. So Vaishnavas of the two kinds. One kind of, they were just the Shuddha Bhaktas, and highly elevated devotees. They were not interested into coming into the society at all. Bhajananand, you can say, and they go to Nirjana Bhajana and going there, and just they don't, because they think that coming to the society means getting contaminated, our consciousness getting polluted. Why to come here and all these things? These are the highly elevated Vaishnavas. They were very absorbed into their bhajan, absorbed into their chanting and remembrance of Krishna. Completely high qualities they were exhibiting. And other kind of people who were so called calling themselves as a Vaishnava, but they are not actually having exhibiting Vaishnava qualities at all, and just they were exploiting in the name of Vaishnavism. So these two kind of people were there. But Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Thakur and Bhaktivinoda Thakur wanted to establish this into a society properly. Because of this kind of a so-called Vaishnavas, the stature of Vaishnavism went down. And instead of Vaishnavism coming up, so many nonsense things were becoming prominent in the society. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, being a magistrate, and he has got all this social connections, who are rich and so educated. Like we have seen, he had nice connections with different literate persons. So among them, he brought Vaishnavism into a proper stature. And Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Thakur was going ahead in the same mission. He himself was a very educated and learned and very talented person. And he also brought this Vaishnavism among the real intellectuals class. And from them, he brought people into the Vaishnavism society. Not just simply giving the good impression, he convinced them to follow the Vaishnavism. Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur was a real prodigy. You say कि Vaishnava, of course Prabhupada mentions कि I myself and my spiritual master were fortunate enough to take birth into a Vaishnava family. So this is what Krishna just mentions here. So any devotees who have who are very strong, they were taking birth into a devotee family again for completing their sadhanas. So in this way, of course, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur and they were not kind of a normal people. They were, once a place, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur indirectly indicates that he is an eternal associate of Krishna in the Golok Vrindavan Leela, called a Manjari of Naina Mani Manjari. So these are the related personalities. They come here to elevate or to strengthen or maybe intensify Gauranga Mahaprabhu's Leela. So by birth itself, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur was showing very, very high symptoms. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, his mission was to establish Krishna consciousness, and he was finding it so difficult, and he was finding it is a very highly difficult task. So he used to pray to Gauranga, please send someone of your Mahatma or Mahajan, so that we can establish this Krishna consciousness, or this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission strongly in this world. And to his prayers, one day was accepted. He was a magistrate of Jagannath Puri. That time, one great soul take birth in his home. He was his fourth child, and And when he, of course, when he took birth, that time symptoms were like that. Ki he was having this umbilical cord, naal rehti na pet ki, and that was stuck to his body in such a way that it was looking like upavita kind of, and it was so strongly stuck. And after removing also, it gave us nice white color mark there in his body. So these are the birthmarks, they say, of um, जो महात्मा होते हैं, they are the greatly highly elevated persons. They show his umbilical cord was tied to his neck, and his bodily features, they were very very prominent, showing that he is a saintly, very highly elevated person. Even his horoscope was mentioning, when priest came to Jagannath Puri to chart his birth chart and all. He was telling this birth chart, this sun, these planets and nakshatras are placed such a way that I have never seen such a kind of a perfect placement in my whole life. This is the best horoscope he have got. Of course, horoscope and bodily features and all these are the external symptoms for somebody to be considered as a Mahatma and all. But yes, these symptoms were automatically present. Hmm? Of course, Bhaktivinoda Thakur used to say, this is the ray of Vishnu has come here. He used to pray for the ray of Vishnu has to come. Ray of Vishnu. This is the ray of Vishnu has come in this home. By of course, for some, his house was just in a Badadanda. Badadanda. Badadanda is a great grand road in Jagannath Puri, where Jagannath's Rath passes by, and his house was just next to Badadanda. And Jagannath Rath used to pass. He was just 6 months old. That time Rath Yatra was happening. Rath Yatra, Jagannath Ratha was passing by, and it was stuck there in front of his home for almost one day. And Rath was not moving at all. Mother took an opportunity to get the child to take blessings of Jagannath. They sent small child. Of course, Jagannath, when he's out, there is no restrictions. Anybody can come and hug. So they sent small child on the Ratha to have a close darshan, have a blessings of Jagannath's lotus feet. As soon as this child was taken to Jagannath, he was almost like in a hugging kind of a position. He wanted to hug Jagannath. It's the first darshan of Lord Jagannath. As soon as this child touched Lord Jagannath's feet, one garland from Jagannath's neck fell down right in the neck of this small baby. And priests were telling, now this boy has get blessings. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur understood this boy is really indeed a Jagannath's Prasad. And of course, after that he named this small boy Bimal Prasad. Prasad of Bimla Devi. Bimla Devi, this is one of the name of Mother Parvati, and Jagannath's Prasad directly goes to Bimla Devi first, and then it comes to devotees. So this is Bimal Prasad. He named him as Bimal Prasad. Mother used to call different names, Binu, Bimu, and friends also. But he was very famous among his friends as a Bimal Prasad. So he was. Eventually, they brought the family back to Navadvip, and they were brought here, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur shifted here in Krishnanagar somewhere, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur put him into the schools. And the schools, but the small child was not so much interested into studies and at all. But he was more inclined to hear his father's speeches on Bhagavad Gita. When his father used to give classes on Bhagavad Gita, he was hearing with the rapt attention. And schools and his friends and colleagues will go and play here and there. All these things, this boy was not interested at all. He will come here and to sit in his classes. And he was hearing with such an attention, and father used to notice, this boy is extraordinary. And while hearing his class, he was taking lots of interest into Bhagavad Gita and all the scriptures. Till at the age of 7, Bimal Prasad memorized all 700 shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. all 700 shlokas at the age of 7, 6 to 7. And not just simply memorize the shlokas. Generally, we see small kids, they will memorize very quick. But this kid was extraordinary. He used to explain this Bhagavad Gita and with the proper purports of वैष्णव आचार्य है ना उसका श्लोका डे 7 years एज में खत्म हो गया था how many have finished your shloka a day? Not yet, right? You have finished. Hurry, ball. Great. This boy used to just not just simply speak shlokas, but he used to, he used to explain them also very nicely. You know, 700 shlokas, and at the age of 7, he was doing all this. And one nice thing happened. This boy was, you know, a strong-willed person. Highly elated person are, they show these symptoms. They are uh, they are attracted towards the philosophy. They are attracted towards the intellectual stuffs, as well as these Mahatmas. They are strong and gambhir into their behavior and activities also. This is a symptom of they are not kind of a swachhandi. Swachhandi means casual and joking and jolly. They're not jolly. They are very grave. In their activities, they are grave. Hmm. So, and he was very serious into his dealings also. He was just 2 years old, 2 or 3 years old kind of. Father was magistrate and many people used to bring so many gifts. One farmer gave a gift of crate full of mangoes. Mangoes like the juicy, sweet, yellow color mangoes. As soon as we go and grab it. And small children, they are fond of toys and all these things. They will grab it. Ye mera hai, ye mera hai, mine, this is mine. And he, small child, he did same thing. He grabbed the mango. And ye mera hai, this is mine, this is mine. Father wanted to give a lesson. And he just simply, in a very grave voice, how you can take it? Father just, and he didn't chastise. Father didn't chastise him. He just simply said, how you can take it? This is not offered to Jagannath yet. We have to give it to Jagannath and then we have to take. We should not take it by ourselves. And the small child of 2 years old understood this is something wrong he has done. And then that 2 years old child, he took a vow that I will never eat mangoes in my life because I have done offense to Jagannath. Father didn't chastise him. Sometimes children have childhood trauma and all these things. It's not a childhood trauma thing. It was a serious, grave decision in his life. Yes, I will not eat mango because this is, I'm an offender to Jagannath. And it is not like that simply for some childhood. Sometimes he followed this vow. Whole life he didn't eat mango. His disciples used to give mango, but he used to reject. No, I cannot take it. Many visitors also give mango, but he cannot take it. He used not it. Even in his matured age also, he never accepted mangoes. So of course he never accepted mangoes. Yeah, of course there were some devotees, some disciples used to tell Maharaj, this is not a mango, this is a baby mango. Mango is mango is called as a am. But baby mangoes, white, green color, they're called as ambi. Ambi ka chutney bana देते. They used to make chutney of ambi. And he said, Maharaj, this is not mango, this is ambi. Ambi can be taken, no? So of course he used to, he take ambi, but mangoes, ripe mangoes, never he touched in his whole life. So he was strong-willed person right from the childhood. This is a symptom. And of course he grew up into this way, studying. And when he was a teenager, after 13-14 years, he used to help his father for editing his books. Father taught him how to edit, how to print, and how to write books and all. He used to help his father, and father used to have lots of help from him. Father was writing that of devotion book, and that time he was helping him, in all sorts of ways to edit the books. And at the age of 16, of course, 16 means almost kind of he was into class 7th or kind of thing. That time he used to he had one and he was very fond of reading shastras and scriptures and all these things. He found one assembly called as a August assembly, and he got a friends of his likings and wills. And these people, their job was to discuss philosophies very deeply and gravely. And these many people used to come and participate in this assembly and discussions and all this August assembly. And one rule was that assembly was they have to take a vow of brahmacharya. Of course, that age now, 100 years back, people used to get married very, very quickly. But look, they were all astounded. No, we are brahmacharya, we'll take brahmacharya, that's all. And they took a vow of brahmacharya, and they used to, and their purpose was to discuss philosophy deeply, gravely, in all different philosophies they used to read. And many people were joined, and finally only one person remained, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, till end of his life. Everybody else happened. So this was the August assembly thing that time. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in this way, he grew up, finished his schoolings. Father put him into the, he didn't. Of course, there was an entrance exam for one college for graduation. And there was in Calcutta, there was this college called Sanskrit University, something. So there he took admission to learn Sanskrit in Kolkata. In Kolkata, that university was very, very renowned. And in this university itself, there was a one Sanskrit teacher, very renowned Sanskrit teacher. He was used to teach Sanskrit. Of course, before that itself, Bhaktivinoda Thakur knew all Sanskrit properly, very, very nicely. He used to explain and understand. But still, a formal education of Sanskrit started. And this, whatever this teacher used to teach, he used to grasp it very, very quickly. And a grammar, Sanskrit and Vedas and Vedangas. Vedangas have different angas, Vedas. And among them is one is the Vyakarana. They say if you want to study Vyakarana, you have to spend 12 years of your life. And Vimal Prasad finished this in just 2 months, grasped it. And his teacher was astounded. Teacher was a very, very renowned person. And of course, he became jealous. And he says, how can you finish this? How can you finish this? And what teacher said, if you have to study Vyakarana, so if you have to study the Sanskrit, you have to spend lots and lots of time to study it. He was teaching Sandhi. Sandhi, right? Joining of two words and all the science of it. And he says, you study Sandhi very nicely. You spend a lot of time in studying Sandhi. And then when you explain and understand Sandhi properly, this Sanskrit grammar will be explained to you and revealed to you. And this Sanskrit language itself will give you moksha, liberation after some time. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Ram, this is not goal of my life. If you want to just take a renown and maybe a moksha and all, so this is not goal of my life. And whole life I will be just simply reading that Vyakarana Kaumudi, some book was there for whole life. Never. My life goal is to spread and establish Chaitanya's mission in this world. Better I should not waste my time here just simply reading Vyakarana. He just quit the college and came back. And of course, there was another reason for quitting his college. He was very, very expert into college life. In his college life, he finished his whole library. College had a nice big library. His college books, study books, he would have finished long back. And he finished all the college library reading books completely. There is not a single book left in the library which he has not read. He was so grasping all the knowledge and scriptures very easy, quickly. He dropped out of college. He was telling in his biography, he writes, I dropped out of my college because I understood that if I become a graduate, my parents, my relatives and everybody start pressurizing me, start a family life, take a job and all these things. I didn't want to fall into all these things. Better let me remain illiterate, but let me remain fool so that I will not fall into the traps of this world. He accepted life like a Jada Bharata. Jada Bharata, remember, father was not able to teach him even how to do Achmana. Jada Bharata was acting like that. And he remained fool all his life. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, even though he was a very educated person, he quit his job, quit his studies. Finally, one day, his father, there was one assembly, one assembly was there in Calcutta, which was talking about the Vaishnavism and Brahminism, casteism. that assembly, that program was happening there. Bhaktivinoda Thakur was invited to put up, well, just a debate kind of thing. That time there were lots of debate used to happen. Something, this debate is a wonderful thing in our, was very nice thing in our culture. Now we don't find these things. So debate means there will be two philosophical parties, they will coming up, and they will, in this debates lots of people will participating, to just audience, and these two parties will come, and they will have discussion and arguments, counter arguments, counter arguments, which will go for a long time, and finally there will be, judge will announce one is victorious. And it used to be nice sharing of thoughts and culture and everything, even among the different sects of people. In this way, this Brahminical, people who are considering Brahmanism as a casteism, Smarta casteism as a great, those people were there, and one side they bought Vaishnavas, and from Vaishnavas party to put up their arguments, they invited Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And unfortunately, that time, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, not unfortunately, and coincidentally, Bhaktivinoda Thakur fell sick. He was with a lots of high fever, and he could not participate into that. And Bimal Prasad understood that my father is very sick, so what to do? So he wrote an essay on this thing and presented to father. Can we do this? Can we present this essay into assembly and put our party? And father saw that essay, and he got astounded, and he says, "This is no, this is wonderful work." He started calling him Saraswati that time, and that time he got a name Saraswati. And of course, after that also, the same name was glorified by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, glorified by some other laureates also. Of course, after this, he went into this assembly where arguments and counter arguments were happening, but Smartas and Vaishnavas. He started putting he started giving arguments on the basis of Shastras. First day, he gave a speech talking about how the Brahmanism is great. And he was in a party of Vaishnavas, and he was talking about how the Brahmanas are great, and all Shastric experiments and all reference and all these things. Brahmanas were elated. They were getting puffed up. Oh my God, what is this Brahmana? Brahmana is the one who all the four directions are paying obeisance to him. Brahmana is the one whose the shadows are so important. So many things, and Brahmanas were getting so pleased. My God, he's from the other party, but we are going to win this argument now. And he was so happy. They were all happy. Next day, these people gave him chance to for argument, and this next day he started bursting their ego. In this argument, he was telling, of course, Brahmanas are great, but we don't find those kind of Brahmanas today. So where is Brahmanas? And then started talking about whatever wrong things that Brahmanas are doing in this whole life, and how they are not actually qualified Brahmanas to be called as a Brahmanas, and the symptoms and signs of Brahmanas. And many times, many places he spoke about how Brahmanism and casteism is not based on the Janma karma. It is based on the Guna karma. So people used to think this Brahmana's son is a Brahmana and Kshatriya's son is a Kshatriya. This argument he defeated very nicely, and very logical, and very logical as well as Shastric references also. He used to tell, he told that time, if you say somebody who has taken birth in the Brahmana's family, then what is that one is taken birth? Soul who is taking birth is a Brahmana, or the body who is taken birth is a Brahmana? First argument. Second argument, okay, Brahmana's body, not just humans are taking birth, there are so many different worms also taking birth. So can they also be called as a Brahmana? So let us give Upavita to them also, right? So worms also can be called as a Brahmana. We should respect them also then. So this body is Brahmana. When a Brahmana dies, the body who has taken birth is dying, soul is passing by, soul is not dying. So when you kill this Brahmana, so when you burn this body, this Brahmana body, then that is Brahmahatya. So how is it that? So he put the arguments, and then and the Shastric references put about if a Brahmana's family Brahmana is taking birth, it is a fact. Then what about Parashar Muni? He was his mother was not Brahman, and there are so many different examples from Shastras they gave who were kind of a great sages, but Their mothers and their parents were not Brahmanas. Hmm? So in this way, he defeated all these arguments, and finally, not just simply many arguments he gave, and finally, Vaishnava's party was considered was announced victorious, and all these people, they were and all this audience were so elated, they started coming to touch his lotus feet. And there was a big sabha was happening there, and there was such a kind of a rush to touch Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur's lotus feet that people, the crowd was not able to control at all, and police came to control the crowd. Lathi charge happened, and people were not ready to give up. Somehow we have to touch his feet. And finally, the Mathadipatis were there. They would say, okay, we'll do Charana Abhishekam of Maharaj, and not he was not sannyasi at all that time, but he did it Charana Abhishekam and he distributed water on the people. And that time the crowd was sanctified and satisfied. Okay, now we got something. And this way he was, you know. And that time, father understood that this boy is really one who is going to establish the dharma. One day, okay, after he dropped out of college, he dropped out of the he started helping his father, but his special interest was astrology. He used to study astrology a lot, and because of his astrological study and essays and whatever he was all these things he was writing, he was getting a good reputation among the astrological circles there in the Calcutta. And one day, one astrologer was a very famous and renowned astrologer there. He wanted to change the almanac procedures. We have some calendars and coming out of different calculations coming up. This person was telling, no, calendars are okay, but now we have to improve our system a little bit, and this are some kind of improvements he suggested. Bhakti Saraswati Thakur counter argued, this is not right. We should not do that all. And of course, he had already before that he has written a Surya Siddhanta, and he used to teach the Surya Siddhanta in the college. Surya Siddhanta. In astrology, there's one Siddhanta called Surya Siddhanta. On that, he wrote a thesis, and he used to teach that to his colleagues also. So what is that? Astrologer, he wanted to change the astrological calculation processes and all these things. Everything was happening in his youth. So he counter argued that, and he objected that particular this one. And there was an argument, there was a debate called, and one very renowned person, he said, okay, we'll have a debate. So this person came, and Bhaktivedanta Thakur came, and he gave arguments such and such as fiery and strong ways. This other party person, he got defeated in a few moments, and finally he was not just simply defeated, he was terrified the argument that Bhaktivinoda Thakur was putting. And in some places it is mentioned that he started passing stool and urine in the same place itself. Such a kind of a terrible argument Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And of course, finally, after this debate, he was given officially awarded a degree, name, title of Saraswati. He was given a Saraswati title after that. And then Bhaktivinoda Thakur, of course, he stopped, and after that, sometimes he used to consider, okay, college degree he gave up. Then astrological practices also he gave up. No, these are all the worldly things. After that, he was expert in astrology and everything, but he never never practiced astrology in his life. Of course, when he was a sannyasi, that time there used to be many brahmacharis used to come to his ashram and all these things. Just by seeing face and just by seeing his kundalini and all these things, Bhaktivinoda Thakur used to understand whether he will going to stay brahmachari or sannyasi or what. So he used to tell, but never he practiced it publicly, all these things. But his main interest was to establish and study the Vaishnava principles and philosophies. He went to an Advaita ashram, and there he studied Advaita philosophy also. People think, why this Vaishnava has gone to Advaitist and started studying Advaita philosophy? But yes, he studied it there. Of course, his father once, of course, in this particular debate, there was a king of Tripura who was present there. And as soon as this debate finished and the king of Tripura invited Bhaktinath Vimal Prasad to become his diwan in the Tripura. And he gave a nice, good, hefty salary and all this. And he said, okay, you come. But that was not actually the interest of Bhaktinath Thakur. His actually interest was the royal library of that king. King had a nice royal library, and this royal library there were so many scriptures kept there which were not available to a general public. So he wanted to read those. So in that interest, he went to Diwan and started. Look, this is 1885 something kind of in that time. He went to Diwan's place, king's place, and he started his job there, and he studied a lot of scriptures there along with. And this king, after some time, he died very quickly. The next king who came, he also kept him as diwan. And most important thing was telling him, sir, I want some help from you. The king was telling to Bimal Prasad, there are so many corruptions happening in my country, in my kingdom. Can you help me for that? So he studied his all bureaucracy and all these things there, and he suggested some such a kind of a measure that corruption was completely checked in his whole kingdom. And many people became little angry on him. Of course, because of his straightforwardness and very steadiness, he got so many enemies also. Not just simply the sadhus and Brahman Samaj and all these things were kind of enemy. But now this king's people also become enemy because he's stopping corruptions there. So enemies were increasing, growing and growing and growing. After some time, he quit this job, and their king was so happy with these services and all this thing. He said, at the age of 30, at the 30 of his, he got retired and says, "Sir, I will give you pension." King offered him lifetime pension for his work, and he took this pension for some time, and after some time he rejected and stopped taking pension on this things. During this period, he started, okay, this is my life. This is not my life goal. I have to preach. And to preach, I should have some kind of a strength in sadhana. So he started his long and grave sadhana. Remember, of course, he started doing chaturmas. Chaturmas very severe chaturmas he used to do. Of course, we know that shaving, not shaving, and all these things. He used to do the chaturmas sadhana by. He used to cook for himself. खुद का खाना पकाया खाना खाएंगे मतलब he used to make on his own rice, and that he used to keep on the floor, जमीन पे, on the stone, and without his tapasya was like this in Chaturmas 4 months. He will just tie his hands back, and once he will put the rice will be kept on the floor, and once he will bend and he will eat that rice. That's all. Once whatever comes, that's all. On one day, that rice will eat. That's all. Once bending, finish. One morsel. This kind of tapasya, very strict tapasya. Eating is regulated, constant tapasya was going on. Of course, he took one more tapasya that time. Was chanting Shatakoti, जैसे ना Shatakoti नाम व्रता 100 billion, 100 billion, no, 10 billion holy name here he wanted to chant, and that took 9 years almost to complete this vrata. 100 crore, 100 crore, yeah, 100 crore. How many comes? 100 crore? Huh? 100 crore, 1 billion, right? 1 billion. So 100 crore names, holy names. Huh? 10 crore, 10 billion. 10 billion. 10 billion names. So almost 9 years he was chanting. And that's also not kind of a दिन में 2 घंटा 3 घंटा, constant every day, 18 hours he used to be chanting. Once he, for this to complete his vow, he established, he built one hut into Vrajapattana somewhere nearby here, and they used to he used to do this tapasya. And while he was doing tapasya that time, one person, I forgot his name, he was taken somewhere Mesopotamia and all these things. He was a Vaishnava. He got a dream, and in his dream Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, and his desire was to establish Chaitanya's movement strongly in this world. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Panchatattva came to his dream and said, you want to establish the Sankirtana movement all the world? There's a person there in Navadvip. Go and help him to establish. He was a rich person, and he wanted to do that. And he came searching, where is that person? Bimal Prasad name was. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Bimal Prasad, find this Bimal Prasad. And he came searching Navadvip, where is Bimal Prasad? Bimal Prasad. Nobody knew where is Bimal Prasad. And one person finally told Ki Bimal Prasad, oh, you will not find him where he stays and all this. Nobody knows where he stays at all. Where you will find him? You will find you if you want to see him, you want to talk to him. You stand in front in the Ganga's shore, and early morning you will find somebody with a long beard and all these things chanting Gauranga Nityananda Gauranga Nityananda and running. That person is Bimal Prasad. Acha, and early morning he will have whole day, whole morning he was waiting. Where is Bimal Prasad coming? And suddenly he saw one person shouting Gauraka Nityananda Gauraka and just running and then jumped into the water, took bath and came back running same speed. And where is the time? 10 billion names you have to chant. Where is the time at all for taking bath and eating food and all these things? And whenever Bimal Prasad used to chant and it will be raining, there's a roof will be torn, hut roof. He will take an umbrella and sit. But no time to repair the roof also. Take umbrella and sit there, that's all. He was in this situation, he was chanting. And this person came to Prabhu and he just stopped him. Maharaj, stop. I have got order to help you to establish Sankirtan movement here. And he said, you want to establish Sankirtan movement? I see, look there. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Advaitacharya, singing, chanting, Hare Krishna. There and Sankirtan is going on. What are you talking about establish? Sankirtan is already going on. Go and participate, jump there. That's all. And he just ran away. And this person was disappointed. Are kya kiya jaye? And finally, when Bhaktisani Thakur's this vow was completed, and he just shaved his beard and all this thing and wore a saffron dhoti, white bead bag. Of course, his wish was saffron dhoti and white bead bag. No, he was not a sannyasi, he was not a brahmachari even all. So he wanted to show that yes, we are beyond casteism, we are beyond varnashrama. Saffron dhoti is of a sannyasi and white bead bag of grahasthas. So he was indicating that. And this situation, he came searching for this person's home and knocked at door and says, 4 years back, you told me that you want to establish Sankirtan movement. Are you ready still? And yes. And after that, they established the Gaudiya Math. And of course, in between, one more event happened. He took initiation from Gaur Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj. His father insisted, of course, in his childhood itself, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when he was 2-3 years old, that time Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave him one Kurma deity. They were building one ashram there in Kolkata somewhere. In this ashram, while digging, they got a Kurma Vigraha. And he gave him to worship this small boy. And he worshipped it for whole life nicely. And when he grew up little bit, almost 13-14 years old, Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave him Tulsi Mala and says, how long you will be doing like this? Now chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. He gave him formal Diksha, Harinam Diksha actually, to Tulsi Mala and Harinam Diksha, holy name Hare Krishna Mahamantra to chant. But his father wanted his son to take a Diksha actually from Gaur Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj. This is a kind of a formal Diksha. So in this way, why wanted? Because he knew that his son is a real renunciant. He is showing all these kind of renunciant kind of symptoms. So better he should take initiation from a renunciant person. There is no one better than Gaur Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj in whole Navadvip. And he said, okay, you have to take initiation from, if you have to take initiation, take it from Gaur Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj only. But Gaur Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj was a very, very renounced person. He was not having his own hut at all. He used to come to Bhaktivinoda Thakur's place. Yesterday we went to the place. He had a bhajan kutir there only. He used to come there and do bhajan and all these things. Mostly Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Gaur Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj used to do bhajan into Surbi Kunj and somewhere where people will not come. Specifically toilet area. Then many times Gaur Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj, of course yesterday we had this katha of Gaur Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj, right? He used to go to the place where people used to pass stool and urine, where nobody will come and disturb him. So he will be on this. Bhaktivinoda Thakur told his son, you have to take Diksha from Gaur Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj only. And he went there. Gaur Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj was saying, Bimal Prasad, you are going to take Diksha from me. Okay, but you are so nice scholar person. I am illiterate boy, illiterate man. How? There is no mismatch there. You are from different kind and I'm different kind. Diksha कैसे होगा? नहीं Diksha नहीं होगा. You will not get Diksha at all from me. Then he said, okay, no, I have to Diksha from you only. My father has ordered. I said, no. I don't accept any disciple. He never accepted disciples at all in his life. So how can I accept you disciple? No, please accept me and all this. He is requesting. Finally, he said, okay, I will ask Gauranga and then tell you. Such a kind of, in the way that he is already talking to Gauranga. The difference, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came 500 years back and now he is telling, I will talk to Gauranga. And of course, Bhimal Prasad never doubted. Okay, please ask Gauranga. Tomorrow I will come. When you will ask? Hey, tomorrow you come. So next day he came and he asked, did you ask Gauranga? No, that's no, he didn't come to my dream. He didn't see me. I forgot to ask. I didn't ask. We spoke but didn't ask. This kind of answers he started getting. The next day, and finally he said, please ask and all these things. And then finally one day he said, no. Chaitanya Gauranga said, don't give initiation. That's all. And it was a big shock for him. And he became very sad and came back and he was remembering one that bhajan of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya. We have seen that bhajan, Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya. In this bhajan, this one this is a bhajan where no, it is how to demand mercy, how to ask mercy from Guru. This is the bhajan for that. Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Koroi Dase Tridapekhatihina. So we have to put ourselves down and down and down. Not kind of a, I am an educated person, I am a Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, and I want to take initiation from you. So that ego, Gauri Samaji wants you to crush. He didn't want to give. To crush that ego, he rejected him many times. And finally, in this bhajan, there's one line is there, you know. Hmm? Last line he understood. Karunana hoile kandiya prananara khibear. He understood. He was mentioning ki if Guru is not giving me mercy, Guru is not giving me initiation, Guru is not giving anything, what is point of living in this world? So of course, whatever education, whatever the university, whatever the glory, whatever titles I have got, they are all useless if Guru is not ready to give me initiation. This is not my glories. If Guru is not accepting me, I'm really fallen. And he is told, this is if you are not going to give me initiation, I don't want to live in this world. Of course, one time his father was telling, and every day father used to ask him, did you got initiation? And one day father told, if you have initiation, don't come home at all. And he understood, and finally he saw that line touched Bhaktivinoda Thakur so nice. And he says, if Guru is not giving initiation, I just go to Ganges and drown myself there and never come back. So he started running to Ganga and started trying to drown him down. And finally, Gauri Sabhaji came from behind and told, stop, come, I'll give initiation. In the same place in the Ganga's water, he gave him initiation. Of course, in initiation, what we get beads. We of course, Bhaktivinoda Thakur already had bead, which his father was given. And now his Guru Maharaj, Bhakti gave him kopin. He gave him Diksha time, Guru has to give something, right? So he was not having anything. Goswami Maharaj's only possession is Kanti Mala, chanting Mala, and whatever clothes he is wearing, that's all. So he gave, okay, take this kopin. Is a Guru Datta thing. So that's how initiation happened. Kopin, undergarment. So he was not wearing anything, and he has not any property at all. In Diksha time, Guru gives used thing. So that is a Guru Prasad actually. One of the things that Guru gives. The Guru gives mantra, Guru gives name, Guru gives one thing used. Either he can give paduka, either he can give cloth, either he can give mala he has chanted. So he gave kopin that time. And this way Diksha happened. And he was accepted by Gauri Sabha Maharaj as a disciple. And he was very strong and a strong disciple of Gauri Sabha Maharaj. And finally, he started his preaching movement, he started Chaitanya mission. Gaudiya mission there, and he established first matha there into Kolkata. And of course, there so many things were happening in the Chaitanya mission. He get so many disciples, and a strong, wide preaching he did all over India. Hmm? And there were so many oppositions used to happen, come to Bhaktivinoda Thakur. People used to, this Brahman Samaj or many other people, they used to do lots of conspiracies against him. Gautama Maharaj gave strong instructions to Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He gave three instructions to Bhaktivinoda Thakur. First instruction was never accept disciples. Second instruction was, I don't remember all three ones. Anybody remembers can recollect. First was never accept disciples, never go to Maya's place. Maya's place. But actually, Maya's place means the cities and all these places. Never go these places. You know, uh, but actually, apparently, Bhaktivinoda Thakur accepted so many disciples. Bhaktivinoda Thakur accepted, he used to go to villages and cities and accepted the money and cars and everything. Bhaktivinoda Thakur used to tell, ki, my Guru gave instructions, I am following them exactly. Guru Maharaj said not to take not to take disciples, but where I am taking disciples? All of you are so nicely elevated devotees. You are not my shishas. I am your servant. Whenever he used to meet his disciples and he used to see his disciples, he used to have the feeling that ki, I am there to help him. I am there to serve them. That was the attitude. Even Prabhupada's life also, the same incident is there. Once Prabhupada was coming back from somewhere, and there was a custom officers were checking, and outside airport the devotees were doing loud and tumultuous kirtan, and the custom officer was checking and telling, oh Maharaj, these are your disciples, they are your servants. And now Prabhupada said, no, they are not my servants, I am their servant. No, are you their master? No, I am not their master, I am their servant. So this mood Prabhupada also carried from his Guru Maharaj. So he used to say, no, you are not my disciples. Actually, I am your servant. I am helping you. Another thing he used to say, he never go to Maya's place, Kolkata. Kolkata is Maya's place, right? Kali's place or Maya's place. He used to give sometimes some places it is mentioned that Gauriya Maharaj instructed not to go to Kali's place. So Kolkata is a Kali's god, and Kali Puja, everything is happening there. Or sometimes somebody says this is Maya's place. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur used to say, I am not going to Kolkata. I am going to, there is a matha there. He has established the Gaudiya Math there. So I am going to the matha there. And the matha, what is there? All spiritual environment is there, deities are there. And in this place, where is the chance that Kali will come? Where is the chance that Maya will come? So this is a place where I am away from. I'm not in the Kali's place. I'm in actually Vrindavan. I'm in the spiritual world. This is the spiritual world actually. So in this way, Bhaktivedanta Thakur rampantly and widely preached this Krishna consciousness movement, all the Calcutta and all these places, and he established so many Gaudiya Maths, not just in India. He established some Gaudiya Matha in Nepal, some Gaudiya Matha into Myanmar, Burma, and he sent some of his disciples to specifically to Europe. Because Bhaktivinoda Thakur had a prediction that Gora Angrez will come and chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra here, Gauranga Nityananda, right? So he wanted to realize that dream. So he sent a few of his disciples to Europe to preach. Of course, they tried a lot, tried hard. They established some matha there and into Germany. There were some Gaudiya Matha in Germany also. But not much success, they came back. And one day when these disciples, they came back and they're speaking, they're reporting back to Bhaktivedanta Thakur, ki it's impossible to preach Krishna consciousness in Europe. And the assembly, all disciples were sitting and sannyasis came and all this. Many sannyasis, they were fearful to talk to Bhaktivedanta Thakur. We were not successful, how to face our Guru Maharaj. Many disciples who came back from Europe, they didn't meet Bhaktivedanta Thakur personally. Used to write letters but never face. They were very upset. But this assembly, one disciple was sitting in the back, and Bhaktivedanta Thakur was watching straight. Sannyasis were sitting in the front and Grahasthas were sitting in the back. You know? So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is he just was watching there in the back. It is not impossible. If you are not done, somebody will definitely do it. And behind there, was sitting Srila Prabhupada. You know? So of course, Bhaktivinoda Thakur never pointed he will do it karke. But yes, he knew that this is a person who will definitely do. Hmm. So it was, of course, we didn't talk about Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Srila Prabhupada's meeting, right? You know, it is important thing actually. In the there was a Ulta Danga there was a terrace. There was some meeting was happening, and Srila Prabhupada came. And Srila Prabhupada, as soon as he meet Srila Prabhupada, actually, these two boys they came with khadi dhoti, khadi kurta, and all these things, and pen on this in the pocket. And they came and immediately paid obeisances. Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, "Okay, why don't you preach this message into English? Because you know they were seeing that these people, these boys have come. They look educated, young boys, nicely shaved and all these things, and that khadi dhoti and all these things. Very educated people, and philosophical intellectuals. Teach this Krishna consciousness into English word." Prabhupada was startled. Srila Prabhupada is our Abhay Charan, that time Abhay Charan. He was startled. And he said, how can you say, of course, after some time he asked questions. We are not independent, we are into foreign rule. Who is going to listen our message? Bhaktivinoda Thakur gravely answered, कि Krishna consciousness or this God consciousness is not dependent on who is ruling your country. Is independent of that. This doesn't matter who is ruling, who is not ruling. Krishna consciousness should go all over across the world. It is not dependent, and of course it is. It is not dependent. God consciousness is the highest urgency in the world. God consciousness is the most important thing. There can be different rulers coming up, going, but God consciousness survived. God consciousness saved people from this onslaught. So his answers were so convincing. But Srila Prabhupada, that moment itself, accepted him as his disciple, as his guru. Of course, Srila Prabhupada took formal initiation almost 10 years afterwards, 11 years afterwards, after that. But of course, at the same moment, the guru has accepted his disciple, and disciple already accepted his guru. This is the first meeting of Srila Prabhupada. And after that, also so many things, so many times Srila Prabhupada met Bhaktivinoda Thakur and had spent some important, nice time there. Bhaktivinoda Thakur was revolutionary, actually. He never accepted the so-called standard traditional limitations, like sannyasi should not cross the oceans. He sent his sannyasi disciples to Western countries. Actually, giving sannyas also it was into our Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Gaudiya Vaishnavism used to take only Babaji Vaish, that's all. But he introduced all these things. He introduced wearing saffron dress. That time it was Gaudiya Vaishnavas used to wear white and white, that's all. And they just go to take Babaji. But he bought formal saffron tradition into Krishna consciousness. Saffron is taken by the sannyasis only. But for brahmacharis also he gave saffron. And of course, he didn't use, he distinguished saffron also from other sects also. Generally, they used to have a red color, this kind of red color or something, and of orange color kind of they used to use. But he introduced this color actually, the peach color actually. And this color is not a kind of saffron. So people used to take other Mayavadi sannyasis, they take saffron and all this. Saffron is a fire, will burn off all the karmas and all these things. We are not talking about no, we are not talking about karma and all these things. We are here to love Krishna. So he used this love, this color of love. This is the color of raga. This is not actually a saffron color, not a red color. This is the peach color kind of thing is there. So which is indicates the raga marga, or maybe the attachment to Krishna. So in this way he introduced so many proper organized structure into bhakti marg. Bhakti has to be preached in a systematic way. He gave that seat for bhakti to grow. He gave a proper structured matha system, and where the strong, strict things will be happening, and devotees will be preaching. He started printing presses. Printing. He used to write lots of literature and used to print. He purchased printing presses. He started a temples, established temples, and proper deity worships into temples and different mathas. Otherwise, and these are also new things for the Gaudiya Matha, Gaudiya Parampara, having Matha and having a proper deity worship into Matha also. One temple, there used to be printing press just next to the altar. And sometimes pujaris used to complain, Maharaj, this printing press is there and the deities are resting. It will be disturbance of deities, no? And the deities are sleeping. The printing press used to make lots of sound. Like that time, printing press used to be offset printing press. No, not digital printing press. Offset printing press, have you seen? Makes lots of sound. Ditching, 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 ditching. And whole day night printing will be keep on going. And he used to print lots of books, lots of magazines. Day and night this will keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. Bhaktivinoda Thakur used to say, we can print so many, of course that time almost 8 magazines, different languages used to be printed. And he was editor of all of them, and he used to do a lots of work for it, editing 8 magazines. Okay, editing a small book is so difficult. He was editing 8 magazines, one shot, and different languages, harmonies, Sajjantoshini, and all same in Bengali, English, Hindi, all these languages. This magazine used to go and get it distributed. And day and night it was happening. And Pujari used to say, Maharaj, deities are resting, they are getting troubled because of this. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, don't say all these things. These printing presses, what they are doing? They are not doing simply sound, they are doing kirtan. This printing press sound is a kirtan. And this kirtan is going louder and louder. Your kirtan, your mridanga, your kartal, how much it can be heard? One gully, second gully, that's all. This printing press is doing a kirtan which is sounding all over the world. This printing press is sounding is a brihat mridanga. He coined a term brihat mridanga there. Bhaktivinoda Thakur was, of course, was very, many things he started anew. If you start listing it, it's 1 or 2 hours is not sufficient for that. He started so many different things. He gave a word called, we have this word, Bhagavan, Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is why Prabhupada has taken it from Bhaktivinoda Thakur only. Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's a translation of Bhagavan into English. How will you translate Bhagavan into English? Generally, English dictionary calls it as a God. But they exactly give Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's coming from there. So many nice literary explanations Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave in this way. The literature of Bhaktivinoda Thakur is a huge. Finally, Bhaktivinoda Thakur was doing all this, and one day, of course, we talk about the final Leela of Gaur Kisar Babaji Maharaj. We heard Gaur Kisar Babaji's final days and how his Samadhi was bought yesterday. No. So 1913 or something like that, 1914, Bhaktivinoda Thakur passed away. And that time he ordered his son to become renunciant or dedicate his life. He was a brahmachari kind of thing. But he says, no, now my son has to dedicate his life. He told his mother, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, allow him to take sannyas or something, and let him go and preach rampantly while leaving his body. And one day, Gautama Babaji Maharaj also left this world. Gautama Babaji Maharaj actually told Bhaktivinoda Thakur, you have so many disciples. Send me 2 disciples who can help me at my old age. He said 2 disciples. One of them could not reach to Navadip, but one devotee, one brahmachari came here. He served Gautama Babaji Maharaj in his last days. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he could not come because of there was so much rains and all these things were happening. He could not reach to Mayapur when his Gautama Maharaj's last moment. But after that he came. But by the time Bhaktivinoda Thakur reached Mayapur, Gautama Babaji Maharaj's body was kept on there, and there already fight going on. among all different Babajis in this area, who will claim this body? The so-called Babajis actually, and they're fighting. Okay, this is Maharaj, this Baba, Maharaj's body should come to me. Why should come to you? Because I used to go to him. He used to come to my place for prasad. And sometimes somebody says, no, he took some 2 rupees from me and all these things. I used to support him with the money, and Babaji Maharaj body should come to me. And ultimately, their motive was, I will take Babaji Maharaj's body, I will build nice samadhi on that, build a temple on that, and it will become a big tourism, and I can earn money. This kind of idea was there. And all these people are fighting among themselves. Finally, police came. There was so much fight, and police has to intervene into that area. Why you are fighting and all this thing? And police stopped everybody, and everybody was discussion. And at least fighting was going on. At least police came, discussion started. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur came there. Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur came there. And he says, I should claim his body. Of course, Bhaktivinoda Thakur was in Chaturmas something kind of, and he was having beard and all these things. Why should take body? We are not Babaji even. We are all Babajis here. Babaji should get Babaji's body, right? And now we are not anybody. Even though you are having Babaji Vesh, you are not Babaji actually. No, I am not Babaji, but I am his only disciple. And nobody knew कि Goswami Maharaj has disciple or not. But everybody knew that Goswami Maharaj is a very, very elevated saint and a very famous also. But and he is your disciple. No, I am his only disciple, single disciple. I should get his body. And he grabbed them. He was there and he challenged all of them. Anybody of you are calling yourself as a Babajis and all these things. So anybody of you, you are not worthy of calling yourself Babaji even. He says, and Babaji means actually should be renounced and properly. Babaji, have you? He said, कि anybody of these Babajis has not sung of a woman, has touched a woman or maybe स्त्री संगी नहीं किया होगा. He can come and claim the body. Nobody came. Okay, at least 1 month. He can 1 year. At least 1 year he had not done a Sri Sangha. He can come and claim the body. Nobody came. Okay, 6 months, 1 month, 1 day. As soon as Bhaktivinoda Thakur was challenging them, everybody started running away. Because his gaze and his voice was so thunderous, nobody could stand there. And everybody ran away from there, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he took his body, Parthiva, and gave a samadhi. Many times, and of course there, he made a very humble way. He accepted all these services. Finally, Bhaktivinoda Thakur started building Yoga Pit. He constructed and erected Yoga Pitha, birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That was also a big contribution by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Yoga Pit, he constructed there. He established proper worship of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's deity. There was while digging for this Gaudi, this Matha, Yoga Pit temple, they found one Adhokshaja deity there, and they understood that this is a deity was worshipped by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's father, and that's how they understood that this is the place actually where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's home was there. Previously, people didn't knew that this is a place for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's home. Somewhere in Navadvip, they used to think that this is a home. Yesterday, we heard the story how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's home was found. Bhaktivinoda Thakur's story, right? Prabhuji was told. So, Adhokshaja deity was found there, and it was again confirmed that this is the only place where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. And they constructed a nice temple there. And of course, Bhaktivinoda Thakur established a Prati Vrindavan into this place. And one day he took sannyas, keeping his Guru Maharaj's photo in front, and accepted sannyas from his Guru Maharaj after his passing away. People started objecting, "Arey, ऐसा कैसे कर सकते हो? How you can take sannyas? Sannyas should be taken by sannyasis only." So in this also paradigm he broke. Ki, no, sannyasi has to be taken, can be taken by sannyasa. Then who is the proper sannyasi available right now? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas from a Mayavadi sannyasi. Fine, but here there is nobody sannyasi available in proper stature of sannyasi is not there. So let me take sannyas from my Guru Maharaj only. So he took photo of Gauri Maharaj, and with his blessings he accepted sannyas. He gave sannyas to himself. In all history, there are only two people who has taken a sannyas on himself. One is Chaitanya Bhaktivedanta Thakur, and another is Ramajacharya, South India. Shisavada. So he also took sannyas on himself. He awarded him sannyas to himself, like that. So in this way, Bhaktivedanta Thakur has credited, so he can be credited to so many different things, so many revolutionary things, revolutionary activities and ideas he brought. Hmm. So finally, the almost um, he ordered, many times he wrote letter to Srila Prabhupada and encouraged him to take sannyas, join Krishna consciousness, join bhakti, give up his job and all these things. And finally, before passing away, he wrote a letter to Srila Prabhupada to strongly telling, come, give up your job and join, give up your worldly activities and take a sannyas. When he was passing away, that time, this is very, very nice uh, incident there we can say. So when he was passing away, that time also he was giving lessons and teachings to his disciples. Now, acharyas are not the one who give just lessons to his disciples when they are alive. While passing away also, they are giving lessons to his disciples. While passing away, he was asking his disciples. There was a disciple called Bhakti Rakshak Goswami Maharaj. He asked him to please sing some bhajan. Which bhajan? He told, please sing Shilpa Manjari Padam. That song you sing. And Bhakti Rakshak Maharaj may not be kind of a great singer, but he started singing. And he was singing Shilpa Manjari Pada. Then he started singing one bhajan called um, um, Sarvasva Tomara Charane Sampiya. What is that song, bhajan? I remember. सर्वस्व तोमार चरणे संपिया पोड़ेची तोमार द्वारे. That song, that bhajan she was singing. When suddenly one of her his disciples came and he said, no, we have got one nice singer, bhajan singer, professional. He will sing bhajan into a proper nice way. He told Bhakti Maharaj, please stop, sing. And he started singing. And Bhakti Saraswati Thakur opened his eyes with an angry way and he says, who told you to stop? And what do you think this person can sing nicely? Nicely, that means I can get the bhava of it. So this person who sings nicely a great way doesn't mean that he has that bhav. Stop this singing. And he asked Bhakti Maharaj to sing again. I'm not hearing the tunes of it. I want to get that bhav that Bhakti Maharaj. And he asked Bhakti Maharaj to sing. Continuous singing, and he continued singing and singing and singing. And while singing this bhajan, Bhakti Saraswati Thakur crying and tears rolling in his eyes. And finally, early morning, kind of 5:30, he left this world. And this way he completed his pastime just in Brahma Muhurta. It is said that why he left this body in Brahma Muhurta time is because he was Nayan Mani Manjiri in this Krishna's eternal pastime. And Krishna finishes his Ratri Leela at particular this moment. And when this Ratri Leela finishes, Manjiris has to start working, right? To prepare for the next Leela. So he was the calling. He says it is a calling for me. And Nayan Mani Manjiri is the Manjiri where Radharani is very close to her. And she is very close to Radharani. Nayan Mani Manjiri means Radharani will never keep her out of her sight. So, in this way, and when the Krishna's Ratri Leela finished, Nayan Mani Manjiri then went back to Radharani's Leela, back again. So this is how Bhaktivedanta Thakur's biography. Of course, there are so many things I didn't mention. There are so many pastimes and leelas, and so many teachings are there Bhaktivedanta Thakur gave. I would have not mentioned, but yes, his whole moment is kind of teachings for us. Many events are there which we can remember. His treacher, his strictness into sadhana, his stricture into banging and bashing the Mayavadis. He particularly spoke about Bhaktivedanta Thakur. He wanted to bring all these Vaishnava cultures together. He established that Yes, our Gaudiya Vaishnava culture is a culmination of all four sampradayas. All four sampradayas are communicating together in Gaudiya Vaishnavas. It's not less than anything. So from all these four Vaishnava sampradayas, four sampradayas?
Yes.
All these four sampradayas, they have best things, and all these best things are there present into our Gaudiya Vaishnava parampara. Hmm? So this is a epitome of all Vaishnavism. So he established that one. He established a strictness about sadhana, chanting, and purity among the devotees. He established the importance of preaching movement, and for that anything can be done. He established no compromise in principles. Once his disciples were opening a matha there, and these local people they boycotted. They boycotted. अरे इसको ये गौड़े मठ वाले लोग आए हैं. Nobody will give him ration. Nobody give him the water. है ना, boycott, complete boycott. And disciples were worried what to do. They called Bhaktivinoda Thakur कि क्या क्या करें? How we can establish? How we can preach? How we can survive? He says, go. You don't want you are nobody is giving you ration. Go to Ganga, drink water there, but stand there. Never compromise themselves. And now he established कि whatever may happen, we should not compromise. People used to say, generally tells, right? कि okay, you take this rice and become our become accept our religion. You take this job and come to our religion and all this. People say so many things, but here he established no compromise. Even we'll drink water, but we'll follow God Vaishnavism strictly. So he was into that. And purity is amazing. Remember there's a Calcutta. There's a Gaudiya Math to be established, and nobody was giving them rent, and nobody was giving the place. And finally, they found one place which was there was a big mansion which was haunted. So many ghosts were there, goblins were staying there, and nobody was ready to go there. And somebody just sold this haunted house in a cheap rate to the devotees, and devotees also were scared. अरे क्या किया जाए? Once, and then Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, don't worry, we'll go there and we'll chant. And the devotees went there. Bhaktivinoda Thakur asked his disciples, okay, you chant Hare Krishna there. Devotee chanted Hare Krishna. One devotee was standing and sitting in the Rasasana and chanting Hare Krishna, and he used to see a ghostly hand coming and he's disturbing him. Hey. And as soon as he used to see the skeleton hand, and he used to get fainted. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur used to, hey, wake up, what happened? No, his hand is coming and disturbing me. Okay, you do one thing, now you chant Bhagavatam. You start reading Bhagavatam and all these things, and suddenly this hand used to come and he get fainted. Arey, no, Arey, chant Hare Krishna, do this, do that, And next time Bhaktivinoda Thakur was sitting there and he was telling, next time this hand comes, you tell me. Next time he was chanting and this hand came to disturb him, and he said, Maharaj, hand is coming. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur raised his hand, say Hare Krishna, and that hand suddenly disappeared, and that person became Chaturbhuj and went back. That's so pure. And this, and after that he said this home is free of hobgoblins and pishach and all this. Nobody is there, and they started preaching. And next day onward they started Bhagavad Katha there, Nityam Bhagavad Sevaya. And next day that matha is still there. Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave class on Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, first chapter, first verse for 30 days. 30 days class on one verse only. We just say one verse for one day, that's all. 30 days. It was so intense class with continuously, and one class for 3 hours. 3 hours class, and he gave, and it is recorded. It is mentioned very nicely, and it was, and of course, Srila Prabhupada also wrote the longest purport in the Srimad Bhagavatam on the first canto, first verse, first chapter. Okay, so this was the life story in the short of Bhaktivedanta Thakur. Hare Krishna. Anybody wants to add something or some questions? Prabhuji is there behind. But Achitarjan Saka Prabhuji? Some pastimes you can mention. We have some time till